Hello, what's up guys? Eman from Peso Smart Page here. Welcome sa na bagong episode. Shout out to all the podcast listeners as well. I appreciate you all. Today, let's talk about GMA7. So, this week, nag-bump siya ng konti. Actually, nag-start na siya nung Friday din, March 17. So, that day, up ng 1.77%. Then, yesterday, 2.05%. And today, nag-continue yung uptrend. Up ng around 1.39%. But, we're not sure yet kung saan siya magka-close today since meron pang around 2.5 hours of trading sa PSE. And, nangyari to kasi pinaprice na rin ng mga investors yung i-announce sa dividends probably this week or early next week. Kasi usually, third week or fourth week ng March nag-a-announce ng dividends itong GMA7. So, let's check nung 2022 kung ano nangyari. Kung ano yung price action nitong GMA7 nung nag-announce ng dividends. So, last year nag-announce sila ng March 25. So, on that day, from the opening price na 15.82, yung highest was 16.52. So, nasa 4.44% yung inakyat niya on the day na in-announce yung dividends. But, it ran from like Feb to this price point for around around 13% din. And kung sabihin natin by the start of that year, so nasa na, let's say here, so tumaas siya ng around 15%. And if we take into account yung highest on that day, particular day, 19% yung tinaas niya. So, mataas pa rin yung pwedeng iakyat ng GMA7, especially kapag na-announce na yung dividends. But this is dubious at best. So, speculation lang ito. And we're just looking at previous trends and previous price actions para lang malaman kung ano ba yung mangyayari in the next coming days or probably next week. And 1.45 yung in-announce na dividends last year. And on 2021, so, dito mas malaki yung inakyat niya. Kasi medyo bawa pa rin yung price ng GMA7 at that time. Kasi 2020 lang nawala yung franchise ng ABS-CBN. Then, doon na nag-start yung pagbulusok pataas ng stocks ng GMA7. And nag-announce nga sila, Friday kasi nag-announce noong 2021, ng March 26. And then, nung Monday, syempre, nagkagulo yung market. So, up siya ng around 26.82%. Although, hindi naman siya doon nag-glow. So, more or less 20% yung inangat niya. And kita nyo naman dito. So, ito yung gap, no? Kasi, ang ex-date niya is naging April 19. So, dito nag-dump na yung mga nag-dividend play. And ganoon din naman yung nangyari dito. So, here, dito yung ex-date. April 20. So, similar lang din noong 2021. So, April 19 yung ex-date. So, dito naging April 20. So, bumaba siya ng around 8.69%. And eventually nga, nag-dump siya to around 9.6 around here before mag-election nung May. And eventually, nag-pump na ulit siya. And umabot na ulit siya around 13 pesos per share. And by the way, noong 2021, ang binigay na dividends ito, around 1.35%. So, 10 centavos lang inakyat from 2021 to 2022. And it's possible na ngayong 2023, around 1.4 pa din yung ibibigay nila na dividends. Although, if i-calculate natin kung around 1%, let's check that out. If 1 peso no ibigay na dividends this year ng GMA7, i-divide natin sa 13.12, which is the current market price. Kung bibili kayo ngayon, yung yield pa rin niya is 7%. And effective, pag multiply natin sa 0.9, that's after paying yung 10% na taxes. Effective dividend yield is still at 6.85%, which is not really that bad. Actually, it's good. It's a good yield dun sa investment mo. Kasi, for example, if you hold blue chip stocks, yung binibigyan lang dividends, nag-hover around 4% to 5%. And even yung iba, it's less than 2%. And if yung yield na binigay or yung dividends na binigay nung 2021, yung pagbabasihan natin. 1.35 divide natin sa 13.12. So nasa 10% pa din. And effective after taxes nasa 9.26%. And if we base it off from last year's dividend payment, 1.45, nasa 11%. And then 0.9 again, multiply natin, nasa 9.94%. So almost 10% pa rin yung yield if ngayon kayo bumili, and then eventually nga 1.45% yung ibibigay. And as soon as ma-announce yun, for sure magpupump yung GMA7. Although, if for example, sobrang baba ng binigay na dividends, of course magda-dump yung GMA7. Or for example, nag-cancel sila ng dividends, which I think is highly unlikely kasi since 2008 pa sila nagbibigay ng dividends consistently every single year. Although hindi sila nagbibigay ng special dividends, laging isang beses lang every year. I think may isang taon lang na nagbigay ng special, but hindi na yun naulit in the past, I think, 5 years. And for example, ito pa yung sinasabi natin before pa. So let's check yung for the year, no? So this year so far, nasa green itong GMA7. So from the start of the year ng 2023, up siya ng around 16.93%. Yung biggest gain year niya was nung 2021. Up yan ng 130.67% kasi nag-open lang siya at around 6 pesos per share, then nag-close ng around 13.84. And even that's higher if for example you sold at the highest na 16.66. And eventually medyo nag-slow down nung 2022 and down niya ng 18.93% from the open up until the close, kasi nag-close lang siya around 11.22. But again, for this year, medyo okay yung performance ng GMA7 so far kasi nasa March pa lang naman tayo. So that's a little over 3 months pa lang. And then if we base it off sa technical indicator, which is yung RSI, currently medyo mataas siya. Yung weekly RSI is nasa 72.66%. So it is currently overbought. So the best time, or it was a very good time to buy last year. Nung nag-dump siya to around 10 pesos to around 9.54 pesos per share. And if you look back sa mga previous episodes natin, last year, especially last year, kasi nakita ko ang dami nagpa-panic sell at that time. And I made a video, an episode about that. And to try and ease yung like panic or emotions ng ibang investors dito sa GMA7. Kasi for sure, na-FOMO lang din sila. Pumili sila around above 12 pesos, above 13 pesos per share. Or even like the top, bumili sila sa top ng around 16 pesos, 15 pesos per share. And then they sold at 10 nung bumabagsak na. Which is, maling strategy, maling mentality. Kasi nga, diba, first rule of investing is to never lose money. Second rule, don't forget rule number 1. So yun, again, you just have to realize na if you bought here at 14 pesos per share, at 15 pesos per share, why wouldn't you buy more here at 10 pesos, at 9.54 pesos per share? And if you did that, for example, dito ka na nag-average na, hindi dun sa bottom, yan, up ka na ngayon ng 22%, plus the dividends na ibibigay sa'yo in the foreseeable future ng GMA7 kasi again, consistent nga silang kumikita and consistent silang nabibigyan ng dividends. Ayun yung goal nila, like they just want to share yung income, yung revenue with their shareholders as much as possible. Then we have the 20-week moving average or simple moving average. So matagal na siyang nasa taas, So it's been trading above the 200-week SMA since November 2020. Sabihin natin since November 23, 2020. Nung week na yun, up until now, and like it's trading way above nung 2021. Kasi nga umabot siya ng around steadily above 14 pesos per share. And if we take a look at the bull market support band, so ito, if you check it, 20-week SMA and 21-week EMA. So 20-week simple moving average and 21-week exponential moving average. So ideally, nag-acquire ka dapat ng isang asset if nasa baba ka nitong bull market support band. Kapag ka nasa taas siya, ibig sabihin medyo bullish yung trend nung stock na yun or nung asset na yun. Like, kita nyo dito, diba? Nag-start siya nung November 2020. So, it's trading above the bull market support month. So, pagka nasa taas yan, well, this is still an attractive price, no? So, hindi rin siya 100% accurate all the time. Kasi if you bought here, even though nasa taas na siya ng bull market support month, I mean, if you sold here, still up 165%. If you sold here, kahit dito sa mababa na, still up 130%. If you sold here sa bottom dito, 56% pa rin. And if you sell now, you're up 113%. So, diba? Hindi siya 100% reliable. But you get the idea. Kapag nasa taas siya nito, it's bullish. And then dito, diba? Itong dip na to, it's still a good time to buy if you're gonna trade it sa short term lang. Kasi, for example, dito, tagal na siya nasa ilalim. Yan, diba? Up ka ng 16%. Dito sa top, up ka ng 20%. And then eventually, again nga, bumagsak siya. So, this area is a very good time to buy or acquire more shares ng GMA7. So, diba? Sabi natin dito na yung average sa gitna na to. Yan, up ka ng 20% if you bought here, around here. Ano ba to? 10.82. Sabi natin 11 pesos yung average price mo. So, you're still up 18.86%. And again, plus the dividends na ibibigay sa'yo ng GMA7 every year. When it comes to financials naman, super solid kasi walang utang or walang debt yung GMA7. Although sometimes yung iba view yun as not very good kasi hindi sila, for example, nagbaborrow to like grow the company further. But I think for me, based sa fundamental analysis na ginawa ko, okay yun. Kasi wala silang kumbaga liability like or kumbaga parang pressure to make this amount of money so that they can pay their debts. And natutunan ko rin yan kay Warren Buffett na pagka minimal lang din yung debt ng isang company, it's very good to hold that company in the long term. Kasi nga, like, lahat ng nakikita nila, it's almost everything is revenue after mabawas or mabayaran yung, like for example, cost of services or cost of goods or COGS. So, ang nakalagay pa rin dito is 2021 kasi yung annual report nila usually April nilalabas. So, if we check here, around April 19 last year, nirelease yung kanilang annual report. So, probably at that time then, ibibigay yung annual report for 2022. So, April 2023. And yun din yung time na magkakaroon ng X date, no? Or yun yung X date around that time, yung dividends ng GMA7. But yeah, we still have to wait kasi wala pang declaration ng cash dividends for this year. But so far sa 3 quarters ng 2022, it's looking good. Kasi current year date nasa 5.1 billion pesos na. And then previous year to date nasa 6. Although kumonti no yung kanilang income, net income in comparison ng 2021. So that's why marami ring nagsasabi na mas mababa yung ibibigay na dividends ng GMA7 for this year. Kasi buwaba ng konti yung kanilang income. Kasi diba from 6 billion 3 quarters ng 2021 naging 7.5 billion pesos yan by the end of 2021. So this year medyo magsa-slow down ng 2022. And I think marami ring nag-expect na malaki, sobrang laki din nung kikitain ng GMA7 because of the elections last year ng 2022. But medyo nag-underperform sila nung third quarter. Kasi kita nyo naman dito, no? Nasa 1.1 billion lang after taxes yung kanilang income. And then nasa 2.3 billion the previous year. Which I guess makes sense. Kasi that is around the time na nag-start na rin, no, mag-ramp up yung mga ads for the elections. And then like the last quarter of 2021. So yeah, right now we just have to wait. And sa sa mga holders niya ng GMA7, again, we just have to wait for the declaration on dividends. Hopefully, it's still above 1 peso. And again, yun nga yung parang bare minimum na pinapredict ko. At least 1 peso per share na dividends for this year. And it's still a very good yield kasi it's still above 5% after taxes na yun. So yeah, end na natin yung episode here, guys. Sana matutunan kayo. And if umabot kayo at the end of this video, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And if natripan nyo yung content ko, smash nyo na yung like button and click the subscribe button so that you won't miss any of my uploads. Thanks again for watching and listening, everyone. Stay safe. I'll see you on the next episode. Always remember, be Peso smart.